Black True Crime is a podcast that researches and discusses murders committed by Black offenders. It is a podcast that anyone and everyone is welcome to enjoy, but it may not be enjoyed by anyone and everyone, so listener discretion is advised. Now, without further ado, this is Black True Crime.
Do not go gentle into that good night.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Kayla.
And I'm Kristen.
And welcome back to Black True Crime. If this is your first time ever at the show, welcome and hello.
Namaste.
Okay. We love you already. And this week's case is pretty crazy. Okay. It's been requested several times by different people. So I just wanted to go ahead and cover it now. And I'm excited.
Every time somebody requests something, it's always bonkers.
It's horrible.
So I'm not excited for this. I'm not.
You shouldn't be, Kristen. It's probably going to hurt your feelings a lot because it was destroying me when I was writing it. So let's dive right in. If you have a sibling, you know how it feels to argue and fight and sometimes even hate them. But would you go as far as to murder your own blood? Join us as we discuss one of the most horrendous crimes committed in Memphis history. Join us as we discuss the Leicester Street Massacre. So let's start with the family and a little background on them. So Jesse Dotson Sr. and Priscilla Shaw got married in 1972 in Memphis, Tennessee. Kristen, what happened in Black history in 1970s or Memphis, Tennessee?
Period. Okay, guys. Hi, I'm back.
Hi.
Let's get into it. Memphis in the 1970s. So picture this. In the 70s, the Black movement or the civil rights movement in Memphis was turning away from its usual protest style of activism to political activism.
Explain, sister.
Okay, sis, I will. Give me time.
Okay.
And can we just acknowledge that Kayla is definitely giving Nicki Minaj right now?
Okay,
I
Chris
just needed to put it out there.
I
Look
dye
at
a
it.
wig. And she doesn't know
the wig barely has a part. Like, it's going to the back. It's just giving Nicki Minaj.
She told me I look like pregnant Nicki Minaj vibes. And it's like,
but I didn't think people needed to know your business. So.
That's a stretch.
Comment in the DMs, let us know. Okay.
What you think?
Black Memphians were being elected at all levels of government in Memphis. It was state, local, even federal.
All that.
And this is in the 1970s, yes. While white people were at this time relocating to the suburbs of Shelby County. In 1974, Harold Ford Sr. became the first Black person from Tennessee to be elected to the U.S. House of Representatives.
Yes, Harold.
Yes, Harold. And Harold ended up serving 22 years in that position. So thank you for your service, Harold.
Thank you for your service, Harold. Wait, was he like a good Black person or like a sellout Black person?
Well,
No
here's the
shade.
thing. Don't know him. Didn't look all that up. This is
Okay.
just a synopsis of Memphis. If you guys want to know a little bit more about Harold Ford Sr., look him up.
Yeah.
In 1978, Willie Harrington became the first Black man to be appointed as the Memphis school superintendent. And then he was the first Black appointed mayor in 1991.
Good for him.
Like, I really love that because I feel like in order to be like dealing with kids, you got to have a certain type of style, a certain type of swagger because kids can see through the lies.
They literally sell you out. Your kids are gonna sell you out probably every time.
Will hone in on your very weakness and exploit it. Like,
I can't wait to have kids.
So yeah, so that happened. Also, on the soul music side of Memphis in the 70s, it was popping as well. Huge musicians, and specifically blues musicians, made their names in Memphis. For one of them was named B.B. King. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh.
But he's like the greatest blues musician to perform ever. And he actually
King of Jazz, I think they called him, or something.
I think they call him King of the Blues. But he was found performing on Beale Street, which is down in Memphis, as early as in the 1940s.
Dope.
Also, Bobby Blue Band performed on Beale Street as well, and he's another king within the blues repertoire or blues era. So, a female artist, Ann Peebles. She was known for her 70s hits called I Can't Stand the Rain. And there was another one, but I forget it.
I can't stand the rain. Is it that one?
Is that how it really goes?
Kiss my window. That one? Because I love that fucking shit.
We should play an excerpt. I feel like it is.
Yeah, I'll try to see if I can throw it in there without like losing money or
like
something.
making it hot.
Yeah.
So Ann Peebles was actually High Records, a record company, at the time's most successful female recording artist.
Wow, I love that.
And this is like all in the like late 1900s, 1970s. Like it was popping in Memphis. People were dancing, gyrating, activating, and the black community was lit. So
activating their Jerry curls.
Ooh.
I love it all. Thank you, sister, for that trip down history lane.
No problem, guys. Till next time.
Dope. Okay, so Memphis, Tennessee, 1972. Jesse and Priscilla are getting married. Priscilla was only 15 at the time, and Jesse was 19, which, you know, back then people were doing shit like that.
But it's still a bit much.
It is. They had a daughter named Nicole soon after they got married, and this was around the time that Jesse Sr. joined the Army as well. They were then stationed in Florida, where during their time there, they would welcome their son, Jesse Jr., in 1974. Aww. And there's like a lot of juniors and seniors involved in this story. So just follow. At some point, the mother and daughter, Nicole, left Florida and went back to Memphis. So soon after they returned, Nicole got so sick that Jesse Sr. left his station and returned to Memphis to like be with his family. Wow. Thankfully, she recovered. She didn't, die or anything like that, but it got bad. After 3 more years in the Army, Jesse Sr. was honorably discharged, and around the same time, they welcomed their second son, Cecil, who was 3 years younger than Jesse Jr. So, 3 kids. I don't know how many years they've been together at this time.
Yeah.
Really close in age. Pretty cool. The family dynamic wasn't all positives, though. Priscilla once went on a church trip to New Orleans, and when she returned, she came back with a boyfriend, y'all.
Priscilla.
She had a new man. And she told Jesse Sr. that she didn't want to be with his ass no more. So there's that. But somehow the couple stayed married after this. And I believe, according to court documents, that this was around the time the physical abuse really started to show itself, and in front of the children, no less. So it's not good. Priscilla became fed up with it and decided to save up enough money to leave her abusive husband. So we've heard this story probably 100 times. The man comes home from work, his wife and kids are gone. So that's how that was. And Jesse being 6 and Cecil being 3 at the time, they were like, where's our dad? It was just a huge change for them very quickly.
It's sad. It's sad on both ends, but don't be putting your hands on folks.
You can't put your hands on women. Hello. And women, we can't be putting our hands on men either. Okay.
We get no passes.
We don't. We really don't. So because of the military, obviously they were in the military for a time, and the unstable income the family experienced, the children and their mother moved around a lot. They didn't have much money, and you know how kids are. They're really cruel. So when they would go to school, they were bullied for this. Jesse would even skip school because of how bad they were teasing him. At an early age, he was diagnosed with a learning disability in reading and math and had to be enrolled in like classes that provided extra help. So the teasing, kids are terrible. Kids are horrible. They learn from their parents. Next question. So he struggled behaviorally in school as well. He even received individual counseling sessions at school, which I think was pretty dope. Like they kind of went out of their way to see if they could help him and see what the fuck is going on. And when the school tried to reach out to Priscilla, his mom, to talk with her about his performance and everything like that, she either canceled or didn't show up. So he wasn't getting what he really needed.
And I
moms
mean,
have to work. She was
Yeah.
busy. I get it. You know, she
Yeah.
can't just take off
Yeah.
for a meeting at the school. So I get it. But it got to the point that he was missing so much school that he failed the 4th grade twice.
Dang.
Twice.
That's 2 years to get it right.
Yeah. By the time Jesse was 16, he dropped out. Well, it's hard to say he dropped out. Technically, the Memphis City public school system got so tired of suspending him from school that they just completely expelled him from their school system. So he just was kicked out. And at that time, he was still in the 8th grade. 16 in the 8th grade. That's kind of wild.
The math is very
Not
off there.
mathing. It's not mathing. And he'd been to about 10 different schools at that time.
Wow, Kayla. Like, I know we've been to probably over 15 schools, but like
More.
from 8th grade back, 10 schools. That's a lot.
based on behavioral issues, not even being moved around from, district to district type of thing.
Wow.
According to a caseworker named Miss Shettles, she said that she believes Jesse could have performed really well in school if he just actually showed up and behaved long enough, but he just didn't. And he would get into fights a lot and apparently had issues with his little brother Cecil too. So yeah, they're brothers, but at an early age, they were kind of getting into it with each other.
I wonder if it's just like normal brother rivalry.
Right. Or like something
intense.
deeper.
Yeah.
And Jesse was already in the juvie court system by the age of 15. He was arrested multiple times. Priscilla would be in and out of court because of him. She already can't really take off work, so I'm sure it was really inconvenient. And when she couldn't be there, Nicole, which is their older sister, would step in. And
this is the whole time this is happening. Has the father tried to look for them, or was he like, oh, she left? Okay, bet.
Great question. I don't know at what time in their lives that their father actually came back into their lives, but it did happen at a point.
Oh, I was going to say, is this a foreshadow, Kayla?
I was about to say, I didn't want to tell you, but I can tell you this. It's not going to fuck up the story or anything.
Okay, bet.
So Nicole really tried to look out for her younger brothers. Their mother obviously had to work a lot to take care of them, and Nicole would try to look after them at the best of her ability as, a kid herself.
Right.
And the thing is, the food would be locked up when their mother wasn't home. So they couldn't get to it. I'm not sure how she expected them to eat. Maybe there was a certain amount that she allowed them to have access to, but they were in such need of food that when they would visit their grandmother's house on Sundays for, Sunday dinner, Jesse and Cecil would steal money from her purse.
Dang.
Yeah.
Just to go buy food for the house.
That's what the court documents said. They could have been spending it on other stuff too, kids, but I guess that's where it started. And they'd obviously get into a lot of trouble for doing this, but they continued to do it. And it got so bad to the point that their grandmother just banned the 2 boys from coming to her house at all. Damn, you're stealing from your grandma though. You could have just asked her for it.
Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Did you ask her and she said no? Was she stingy? Why did you escalate like that? And then continue to do it to where she's like, don't come over my house.
Yeah, you're not welcome here. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
They fucked with her to the point that they pushed her there. I don't blame her.
She should have. Never mind.
Well, yeah. There you go. There you go. So after leaving,
I'm about to say she should have hit a switch on him.
Yeah, I felt it coming. I know what you're putting down, Krista.
But a switch sounds dangerous.
It's 2022. We can't.
Yeah, we can't say switches.
So after leaving school, Jesse didn't really work much. The only legit job he held was at 18 when he worked as a security guard. But that was pretty much it. By 19 years old, Jesse was pleading guilty to a 2nd-degree murder charge.
Jesse.
And in 1994, he was sentenced to 18 years in prison.
Dang, Jesse.
What's happened, sir?
I mean, I can see how we got there, but it felt like we got there so quickly.
it really escalated, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what situation. I couldn't find any court documents about that. If you guys have any information about that, let me know. I would love to know about that.
Yeah, because I'm like, I wonder if he was into drugs. I wonder if he like got caught up with the wrong type of crew. Like, what was he on?
Well, we'll kind of get into that. So off rip, you know, he's in prison and he's already acting a motherfucking fool. He's receiving hella write-ups for refusing to comply, cursing at officers, and even offenses involving violent activities and weapons. He joined the Crips while he was in prison. So here we go with the being around the wrong crowd type of thing. And maybe he was a part of the gang outside of prison. I'm not really sure. Okay. He was specifically a part of the Kitchen Crips. Is the gang that he joined.
Kitchen Crips.
The Kitchen Crips.
Were they Crips that were found in the kitchen?
Worked in the kitchen? Kristen, I don't know these details, but we can assume yes. So they were involved. He was involved, and 4 other inmates attacked another inmate with a knife for trying to leave the gang. So sliced him up a bit, you know. So he's a violent guy, we can see.
Right.
But while he was in prison, literally the whole time, none of his family members visited him. His mother and father only visited him once, and he spoke to his dad like a handful of times on the phone. Wow. During his entire stay. He was there for 14 years.
I thought you said 18 years.
No, he got sentenced. Yeah. Yeah. He was released in August of 2007.
Like when you know somebody that you know is in jail, but they're going to be released.
Yeah.
Like, and then you still don't put an active effort into like talking to them and stuff. It makes me feel like they were pissed.
Yeah.
Were you pissed about him murdering someone?
I'm sure they were. I'm sure.
But usually, you know, families usually stick by the person's side, you know, even when they're wrong. So for me to see this family be like, we don't want nothing to do with you, it makes me feel like, dang, like he must have really been a little bad apple.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because clearly it's not clear yet, but he had a relationship with his family once he got out of prison. So I don't think they said that they don't fuck with him completely. I just think it's like, I'm not driving out to the prison to see you. Like, I don't really know how that dynamic was, but I wish I knew more. But just 7 months after his release, Jesse would commit a mass murder that paralyzed the city of Memphis and traumatized the police officers that arrived at that scene at 722 Leicester Street.
Wow.
It's gonna get really bad. Trigger warning for everyone. If you're on Patreon, there's gonna be some pretty graphic pictures of the crime scene included in video and some interview video of this fucking murderer as well.
Oh my gosh. Mind you, Jesse looks a little nutty.
He definitely looks like he wasn't born with all the screws he was supposed to be.
Yeah, or he lost them over time.
It's giving, Kristen, what is it giving?
It's giving nut house. Missing tooth in the front.
It's giving jailhouse girlfriend.
Scarecrow. Like, it's giving.
Oh my God.
It's giving, you send this one out if you really want some nutty shit to get done.
Yeah.
Like, you put the gun in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving, I walk on my hands and my feet. It's giving, I've seen Satan. Okay.
I've seen the lies of the Jedi.
That's all I've got.
I'm screaming.